Hi all Baliradio.net listeners, welcome back with me again, Hansen Oi, and do I have a surprise for you or what? Okay, right now with me in the studio, a very talented guy with musically genius. He's a musician who is intending to empower people through his music, and he's also a poet. So watch out, ladies. He might be lurking in the dark. Okay, welcome to the studio, Tah Riq. How are you? And we also have Lizzie. Welcome to the studio, and thank you for coming to Baliradio.net. And then before we go any further, it's very interesting to see how you combine jazz and rapping. Cool stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for having us, first of all. Was that the first question? Jazz and rap?
No, it's just my statement.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so okay.
You've seen the YouTube videos.
Yeah, I've
right.
seen the YouTube video. So okay, so where do you come from originally?
I'm originally from Jordan in the Middle East,
Mm-hmm.
and I have lived in America and the UK and Jordan. I've kind of ricocheted between the three countries most of my life, so spending a few years in each. And I came to Bali about 2 years ago now.
Okay, so what makes you come to Bali?
Right, well, in a nutshell, I was working as a graphic designer in the UK, and then I got made redundant from my graphic design job because of the economical global climate, and I decided I had had enough of the UK and I wanted to try something different. A friend of mine suggested I should come to Bali, saying that it would be really creatively nurturing and it's a very artistic community, and I'd be rubbing shoulders with entrepreneurs, and I thought, wow, that sounds perfect. I'm going to Bali.
That's it, you come to the right place.
So I bought a one-way ticket, came out here, and everything just started to fall into place. So I guess it was in my path after all.
So for you, it's the right decision to come to Bali after all.
So far, so good.
So far, so good. Well, same with me. Yeah, it's the right decision to come to Bali anyway. So how long have you been in Bali?
It'll actually be 2 years, December the 7th.
Okay, if you have to choose to go back to any other countries, do you want to do that?
No, not right now.
So you like it here? Don't go anywhere. Stay in Bali, okay?
Thank you, thank you.
So how did you find to start your career in Bali?
It's strange, actually. It kind of fell in my lap, in a way. I came here thinking I would be doing my graphic design work, since that's what my work experience was and so on. Though, on the side, I had been playing Spanish and classical guitar since I was 14 years old. I've been writing lyrics and poems since I was 8 years old. So that was something I always did for myself, just because I always loved these things. And then what happened was, I came to Bali thinking I would be doing that, and then people started to notice my guitar. I actually went to Madis Warong, actually it was in the beginning, and a friend of mine was playing guitar there, and he goes, "Ah, Tah Riq, come play my guitar." It's French. And so I picked up the guitar, and I played. It was an interval, and the restaurant was packed, so there was about 250, 300 people at the time. And suddenly the place starts cheering. The owner comes up to me and says, "How would you like a regular gig here?" And I said, "Can you throw in accommodation?" and she said, "Yes, I think we can." And that's how it started. Then people started to know me for guitar, and it just kind of snowballed from there.
Okay, so it started as a hobby in music. So you accidentally get into music industry.
Career-wise, it was accidental. Though it was always something I took very seriously, but for myself, I did it because I've always had a passion for it, and I love being creative in different ways. Though as an actual career, when I was living in the UK, I had kind of given up on this idea of becoming a famous rock star and being on stage in front of 100,000 people, and resigned myself to this, desk job animating and designing, which was fun, but it wasn't really what I wanted to do. But that's something about living in the West, I think, is you start to funnel yourself into certain ideas of what you think can be possible and what can't be possible. And coming here to Bali has shattered all that, and now I do believe I can do all those things.
Wow. So how does it feel to see some things that you give up in the past and you can get it now? How does it feel?
Fantastic. It feels like I'm living in my truth.
Bravo for that. Okay, so besides doing all these music projects, music activities, like, do you have any other side project you're doing right now?
Side projects.
Yeah.
Well, do you mean work-wise?
Well, anything. It's like you go to the beach, you surf, or you do sports, or you do anything that you want to share with us.
Ah, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Surfing I've only tried once. I do need to do more surfing though, because we're in one of the surfing meccas of the world. I love parkour.
Okay.
Parkour, for those who don't know, is also known as free running. It's what you see in chase scenes in movies. It's in music videos. It's become almost mainstream, but it started as a subculture that originated out of the suburbs of Paris in the 80s, I believe. And the general concept is that you treat the environment as one big obstacle course. And so you're leaping and bounding over walls and railings and climbing up walls and jumping from one roof to another, if that's what you feel like doing at the time, in a way to overcome the physical obstacles through mental agility as well as physical. And it's been one of the most rewarding things I've ever done, and it's probably the actual reason I managed to have the guts to leave behind my old life and come here to Bali.
So you live from London to Bali. Okay, anyway. back to the music.
In a way. By plane though.
Okay, so you live in a plane.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway. Well, it's gonna be cause problem to the flight attendants. Anyway, so back to the music things. Like I said before, I saw you performing on the YouTube. Like you play the jazz music and you combine with rap.
Okay.
So, like, what genre do you usually like to play? I'm also hearing mentioning about Spanish guitar and everything. So, what genre do you usually play?
Right.
You like to play?
In terms of rap, I mean, when I see what's going on in rap these days in musical culture and what I see on MTV, I feel there's a real lack of strong lyrical content. Too many rappers, not enough lyricists. So for me, it started its life as poetry. And then we just add speed and rhythm and make it kinetic, and suddenly it becomes an active thing, which is much more like rap. So rap is the only way I can really describe it these days, but it's really kinetic poetry. And then with Rio Siddiq and his band, we work really well together. So they'll play a song, and I'll hear the beat, and I'll cycle through the different rhymes that I have in my head and pick ones out and go, I think that'll work there, and if I take that one and put that next to it, and so on, and kind of structure it in my head, and then just get up there and do it.
Okay, so instead of talking about how you're getting drunk and how you smack that and all of that, so you're talking actually about something's creative. Something's more valuable than that.
I did a lot of talking about all that as well, though. Actually, if you if you see some of the lyrics, my early days in Bali weren't that glamorous. I spent my first 5 months in Kuta, I think, like 5 nights a week. And then decided I wanted to do something more with my life.
Okay, so can you give us kind of like a rap for us, just a little bit?
A rap.
Just a simple one.
Okay. Well, since we've been speaking about that parkour and everything, parkour is always almost demonized by society and so on, because they see it as reckless and dangerous behavior. And it was at a time when I had all this like turmoil going on in my head, so I wrote this, and it goes, I live life on a mirror's edge, but it feels like a razor. Some say I'm sick in the head, Mr. Antisocial Behavior. But I never hurt nobody. Oh, how they love their labels. I'm strong in mind and body, and now it's time to turn the tables. I've done what everybody wanted. I've been through education. My mom flew 600 miles to see my graduation. Even though I've earned my freedom, they call it deviation. Sick of your fickle views, your narrow minds will bleed this nation. I'm tired of being hounded. This anger's been compounded. The air between the rooftop serves to keep me grounded. See, now I'm going higher. I'm growing wise and rounded. Some think I've used the street, but it was like that when I found it.
Woo! That's hot.
Thank you.
Wow, like the lyrics are so deep and meaningful. It's not just babbling about, you know, like I said, alcohol.
The bling on my ring, the bling on my ring. Yeah, I figured there's enough of that already.